You got to sit.
Yeah.
Just can't write that down on your list of things to do. You pick your question that you need answered, right?
Yep.
And then you got to sit. And you tell me if you've ever heard this. Ask your body to give you the answer.
Not like that. I have not. And I think that's amazing. Please continue.
My belief is we have all the answers we need in life in whatever organic mass that we currently reside in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone thinks the answer's in your head. Great. Do you know how to get it out? Well, yeah. No, you don't. Just can't figure it out. Just can't figure it out. Well, your body knows. Your body has all the answers. And I know this is very esoteric and sounds, difficult. But if you actually sit and you've got the question in front of you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Better Together with Maria Menounos. As you can see, I'm not Maria Menounos. I'm Mr. Maria Menounos, subbing in for my beautiful and talented wife. Here with Kelsey Meyer, Stephen the Mew. I'm already laughing because our guest tonight, or today, he's someone that just makes you laugh. When you see his works in films, but then even seeing him in real life, Kelsey, don't you just start smiling?
Oh my gosh, you're just giddy.
I hope it doesn't give him a complex as far as I don't, but it's just because he's so talented and amazing. And I'll start with one of his quotes. There is always an answer. The joy is in finding it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, I subscribe to that. Oh my God, do I? Best known for his legendary role in the Anchorman films, David Koechner is an actor and comedian who's also been a standout in other iconic works, including The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Talladega Nights, and The Office. Incredibly, David now has 200 films to his credit and has worked alongside the greatest talents and comedic minds in Hollywood. More incredibly, those same minds, and some I know, are in awe in respect of his talents, which we are just getting to know. We predict iconic roles to come down the line in the future and perhaps a few dramatic turns for this devoted father of five. David is here to share some Hollywood stories, talk about his road less traveled to success, how he balances life, and the fun projects he has coming up, including a tweener, as we say, on Netflix.
That's
Better
right.
Again, the Hill Squad are so proud to welcome the great and iconic David Koechner. David, thank you so much for being here.
An honor. Did I hear Hill Squad?
Heel Squad.
That's right.
So Maria's the people who tune into the show are part of the Heel Squad community that Maria has named a year or two ago, and just kind of all know that I don't know, I wouldn't say we're broken, but
we're all healing.
We're all trying to get better.
I thought it was a movement, as in if you put your heels on the ground, you can get somewhere.
Yeah, you know what?
I like that.
It could be.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that there is always an answer, and the joy is in finding it. I've always looked at things like that. I think that's really a cool philosophy.
Well, I do believe it's true. And the thing, I always yell, so I'll try to.
No, you can yell.
Try to talk to you as if you're in the room. I do find myself just wondering, right? But we don't ask a question, right? We'll go, why me? Why didn't this happen? Why blah, 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 blah. Well, if you look back, what were you looking for? You wanted someone to give you something. In show business, we all think we're here. Well, I'm here. Start giving me things, right?
Yes.
So then you've got to break it down from there. All right, what do you want? Because if you're asking for a general thing, you can't set a goal to get there, right? So there's always an answer, right? But the thing is, you can't get the answer until you ask the right question. So then you ask a question, I want more. Okay. Or why don't I have more? Okay. Then you go down from there. Well, what is it you want? Well, I want that job. And then, how do you get that job? I mean, really, that's the thing. But, what's the scroll that's in our mind constantly that you have to read all the time, and most of it's not. I'm talking about the scroll at the bottom of the news. Most of it doesn't matter, and they scroll by too fast. and you don't retain what they'd said, and then that's what your mind's doing all the time. There's this scroll going on of I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got my list of things to do. Well, do you even stop and go, all right, what's important? It looks like you have a lot to do today. Do you have a lot to do today? The answer is yes. How much of that is necessary and pressing? I don't read business books. I should. I just downloaded the Blink app. You're aware of that one?
No, I am not.
They distill important business books into 15-minute 15-minute episodes. So, for the Hill Squad that's not in LA, well, it doesn't matter. Everyone's in their car all the time anyway. It doesn't matter what city you're in. So I know a lot of people love podcasts. My favorite is Better Together. You should listen to that one in your car. Although you don't want to miss the lovely faces. But people listen to podcasts. But on your way to your journey, listen to a Blink.
Yeah, I think we're actually looking into, and we were going to announce it at some point, but we're even an abbreviated version of this show because you'll see me taking a lot of notes, David, and the reason I'm taking notes is because I get such great takeaway from our guests. So it's for my personal use, but I think there's something to we all have less and less time, just how it is. But it's always nice, in 15 minutes just to get that takeaway. I love that. And I love your idea of it's asking the right questions, and then it seems like follow up and continuing to ask those questions.
Right. Now, the other thing, that you probably know because you're in the space, you got to sit.
Yeah.
Just can't write that down on your list of things to do. You pick your question that you need answered, right?
Yep.
And then you got to sit. And you tell me if you've ever heard this. Ask your body to give you the answer.
Not like that. I have not. And I think that's amazing. Please continue.
My belief is we have all the answers we need in life in whatever organic mass that we currently reside in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone thinks the answer's in your head. Great. Do you know how to get it out? Well, yeah. No, you don't. Just can't figure it out. Well, your body knows. Your body has all the answers. And I know this is very esoteric and sounds, difficult. But if you actually sit and you've got the question in front of you of what, let's just say I had to go, all right, how do I make the most of my day? Let's say something general today. Because I've got this is the most important thing I'm doing today, and I'm not putting your shine on. Of all of the appointments I have today, this is the most important. A lot of people are depending on me to be here. I had a great conversation with Kelsey. I am, and still am, looking forward to this. Aside from that, I've got to move a dentist appointment on Friday. Those are my things I have to accomplish today. Now, if I ask myself, what do I hope to get out of today, right? Or how can I move my career one step forward? And if I sit here, right? Now, I can think of 10 things at once right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
If I say, what is the one thing I can do that would best move things forward? Right? Now, I'm not going to do it right now because it might take 15 minutes. And I just sit, close your eyes, and just wait. And then, of course, it's really a meditative thing. You don't start going through the list and the stroll. You just ask yourself that question again and again and again, as if it's your mantra at the time. I guarantee you something's going to come up. Now, let's say in 15 minutes, it doesn't come up. It's going to come up today. It's going to come up and you're like, oh my God, there you go. That's right. It's almost like a revelation, Mm-hmm. The thing I've been wondering for a long time, now I'm off that topic, I'm on to another.
Okay.
And this mirrors something I was having a conversation with Kelsey the other day. And by the way, I don't know if you probably knew when you hired this gal, you thought, oh shit, that kid has got something that's more than talent.
Yeah. Yeah. David, so I don't want to detract because I'm like taking feverish notes and I have some follow-ups for you on what you're saying, but I'll tell you about Kelsey. I have a network called AfterBuzz TV. Been around for 10 years. I've had over 2,000 hosts. You normally carry a roster of about 400 hosts. We have these quarterly orientations that we do with the hosts. Half our mission is to help host careers. The other half is to make good content. We have made so many famous people out of the network, and we're really proud of that. And we do after shows for your favorite TV shows. So we also love that. But the very last, before the pandemic and everything changed in the world, the very last orientation and the very last person to walk in that door was Kelsey.
Wow.
And so, I joke because I put about $4 million into AfterBuzz, and I call her the $4 million woman because it took 10 years, $4 million to get to Kelsey. And that's how special Kelsey is. And when I met her immediately, we knew the same people. So I knew it was someone I could confide in. And I did something I don't often do in the orientation. There's like 40 or 50 kids, sometimes 100. And I just gave her my number in front of everybody and said, just call me. And out I went. And here we are. So yes, I did know 100%. She is everything you're saying she is. And I've just given Kelsey a minute here. Thank you for acknowledging it, David, because I appreciate it.
The point is, it costs $4 million to find her.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're thinking it's still a cheap price to find that.
Absolutely. Because it's 1 in a million. There's no way. Yes. It's 1 in a billion. Yeah. Yeah.
Kelsey, my hope is they just exploit your talents to the end.
Yeah, right.
So Kelsey and I were having a great conversation, and I think it's a thing I had identified before in my mind. And then she was telling me about the way you work and the way my mind works, and she could immediately tell, like, oh, I see what he needs. I've had 5 different management companies in my career, and I've finally gotten rid of every one. And I've always said to myself, after leaving one, I say the same thing every time. What is it they do?
Yeah, no, I know.
I couldn't tell you what a manager does.
No.
Well, I know what a manager is supposed to do. They're supposed to be your strategic partner.
Yes.
That's the thing I don't have and I need.
Yeah.
So that was very important to me to define that little thing. Because before I was thinking, I got to have a producer. I got to have a producer. I got to have a producer. No. Well, that's a one-time project.
Yeah.
Partner something else.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's,
and going back to the body, and that's something I thought you were going to say, and let me, offer this. And if sometimes when you get the answer or you think you have the answer, I think sometimes you can feel within your physical body, like, so you notice, like, if you go to coffee with somebody and you have a friend, whatever, and like, and again, so much just goes back to awareness and having that time. We keep hearing from from Deepak Chopra, everyone who comes on the show is talking about what you're saying. You got to take the time to have these breaks, and then you need to be aware or more aware, which I wasn't in my youth or in my Hollywood career at all, and I'm working on it now. But when you're more aware, you may say, God, every phone call I have with this person or every lunch I get with this person, I don't feel very good. I feel tired. I feel drained. I feel yucky. And I don't know. I think sometimes your body can actually tell you, right?
I will say you do know, and you've hit the whole key, because your brain was trying to process what's going on, right? And most of the stuff that was going on, you may have been rejecting it, let's say. I don't know if it's a conversation and they're talking about this or that, and you are a very good host, so you know not to interrupt them, and you just let them say what they say, and then they're on to the next point. And then we never really got to the heart of the issue. The first thing that they said, which you might feel is a false premise, so you have to let it go. And then now your mind is trying to process your job part of it, and then get to their point, blah, blah, blah. So now you're like, now you're tired. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is very important what you said too, because in finding the answer, the thing is you want to shut down your head. You can't. But what you can do is use your brain to go ahead and discover in your body where vibrations are. And I know that sounds, oh boy, weirdo hocus pocus. Nope. If you start paying attention to your body, it's telling you something all of the time. So if I sit here right now, go, all right, where am I feeling the energy? Because the answer might come from your knees. I know the place the answer is not going to come from is your brain. Because it's got other shit to do, right? You know, you listen to Eckhart Tolle. I say listen to because they are dense books. They are absolutely worth it for the is it Heal Crew?
Heal Squad.
Heal Squad. Eckhart Tolle is recommended. Now, be fair warned, his brilliance is so deep. You will find, this is me, you'll find yourself going back to the last 4 pages because you get to, let's say a chapter, you're 4 pages in, and you go, wait, what? I listened to him, I say on tape, as they used to when we had cassette players in our cars. I would find myself having to go back again and again and again. But my point with Eckhart Tolle was, what was it, David?
What was it, David?
Huh?
We will come back to it. You remember. So, David, when did you start? Were you practicing this stuff? You were a poli-sci major, so it sounds like to me you were like myself, where you were on the traditional path. I always say like poli-sci history majors, criminal justice, sociology. It's a bunch of us guys who just are going to college to get our diploma, and we don't really know what we're doing, so we just grab that and we go from there. Were you thinking of politics, or was it just what I'm saying? You were.
I want to finish my thought if I can.
Yes, please.
The thing that Eckhart is telling us is your brain wants to be in charge, but it's not. The brain can't drive. The brain doesn't know how to drive. Who's driving? Your hands, your feet. Give them the power. The brain always wants to take the wheel. Out of the way, please. Hey, brain, guess what? I got this. What's the last thing you need in your body to survive? The last thing is your brain. The number one thing you must have in your body to live are your lungs, right? So people go, what's the most important part of the body? The brain. Lie. It's your body. You can be brain dead and the lungs work. Who wins? Oh, the lungs. So if you can breathe, you can think. Because the only way you can think is if you breathe. So I would say your lungs are more powerful than your brain and probably have a lot more answers than your brain. Now, the brain is a goddamn storage unit. I'll give you that. Pretty efficient storage unit. Now, in most cases, it's fucking not organized. So I don't know who put it together, but the brain certainly doesn't even know how to fucking organize things up there. But the lungs do. The lungs work independently on their own. No one tells the lungs to keep breathing. In fact, when the brain gets involved and say, okay, lungs, here's how we're going to do it. The lungs automatically acquiesce and go, okay, sure, try it. Right? Because everybody says, do the breathing exercises, do this. And then what's the first thing your mind says? Wow, this is a chore.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a fucking gift. And what you can say is, all right, brain, I'll entertain this. I'll be amused by your desire. So, and we always try to shut off the brain. Okay, and the brain immediately goes, hey, easy, pal. I'm the coach. What is the one thing that happens to coaches? They all get replaced, bar none.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just go deeper into this allegory metaphor. Coaches all get replaced. They're sometimes great. The lungs never get replaced. unless there's some malady which insists they go. They're the one member of the team that stays forever. So I would trust them more than anything else. So where's your point, Koechner? Great place to start when trying to divine the answer from the body are the lungs. And you don't start asking the lungs to breathe differently. You go, okay, lungs, if you don't mind, I'll take an answer there. And then the lungs will go, oh, hey, look who came on board. Now, then the other thing you'll find is if you invite the brain into the process, hey, lungs, ask the brain or whatever, where am I feeling something right now? Now, I always say, where am I feeling a vibration? Now, it's going to be somewhere else in your body. I swear to you, I've got an answer from my knees. Don't know why, but that seems to be, at that point, for one time, that's where the answer resides.
In your knees?
Yes, not always.
Okay.
That day.
David, do they shake or do they have aches, pains? No.
There is there is no physical manifestation. It's just almost like you're just doing. Let's just say you're allowing an exploration of where you're feeling something, or you just keep saying, "Give me the answer," and something's going to come. Now, the answer might be you're looking for the wrong. You're asking the wrong question, or it might be, hey, it doesn't matter, but it still gives you the answer.
Yeah. The answer.
Should I call that person that wounded me yesterday, and I really want to say something because I'm angry? Let's just say, for instance, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Now, you're the one that's angry. That person didn't do anything to you, because it's not possible for anybody else to do something to you. And I'm talking in a friendship. I'm not talking about institutions that exploit and marginalize. You had, your buddy said something offhand, right? Well, I knew you wouldn't get it. I don't expect you to understand. That hurts. Okay? And then you didn't say something, so now you're mad. Now, you don't want to get on the phone the next day and go, hey, by the way, who the fuck do you think you are? All right. So there's 1,000 lessons you can learn. There's 1,000 answers you can get. All right, how much does it matter to you to try to confront that individual to get your justice? His operating system is not yours. So it really is within your power to A, forgive that person or learn from what he says. Let's say, for instance, my thing is, I clearly talk too much. I'm impulsive and overly insistent. So who knows why that person said something? So the answer might be, did you talk too much, David? In that conversation you had yesterday, that person? Did you say something earlier in that conversation that he felt the need to say something corrective to you? And because it was really all about my feeling that got hurt, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily, a condemnation of my entire brain. So really there was no fight in the first place, except the one I was bringing up and having with myself, right? Mm-hmm. And so the answer is, do you think you can be a better listener? Or the answer is, if you're more aware at the same time, you could have asked the person, what do you mean by that? Yeah. Because in my experience, the thing to do if a person says, I knew you wouldn't get it, most people go, I get it, I get things. Well, that's not engaging in the conversation. Now the goal is, what do you mean by that? It's not my job to make an argument to override the thing he said. What do you mean by that? You know Socrates, and the Socratic method, of course, is ask the question. Mm-hmm. That's the power. If I try to convince a person who has another political party affiliation, if I try to convince him he needs to change the party, I have failed already. Mm. The other thing is, why do you think the way you think, specifically about A, B, C, or D? Now, typically what they do is give you a long list of something, and they jump from Second Amendment to First Amendment to abortion rights, this, and that. We're not talking about all that. I asked you a simple question, right? So how do we get to the simplicity of the question? I thought we were talking about vibrations in your body and how you get the answer. I'm going to tell you something. All of the answers are in this vessel you have. What's the important thing to say right now? I've already spoke too much. You and I could have a 3-hour conversation about all those stuff I brought up right now. Now, let's go back to the one thing. Answers are in the body. Or more so, and I'll tell you this to all our heal squad. Today when you're driving, I'm going to say at some point during that drive, you're going to get upset. Is that a very common thing every time you get in your car?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm going to ask the heal squad crew. Is it squad?
Heal squad.
Thank you. Please remember this. When you're driving today, especially when you get upset, you're going to feel in your body where that upset is. And that will give you evidence to everything I've been talking about, I'll call it a diatribe. And then you'll finally go, oh, fuck. There's the truth. You're going to be driving. Someone out there is not as adept at driving as you are. Now, the way we take it is that person did something to me. He cut me off.
Yes.
Oh, I don't. Okay, good for him or her. Did he even know he did it? He's not trying to do something to you because he doesn't even know you.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that affects our self-worth is, oh, you think you're better than me? He doesn't think. Who's better than you? No one on this planet. You can be a better you, but, everybody loves Jesus and Gandhi. I dare you to be them, right?
Yeah.
Because my point with that is, if you really want to be like Jesus, go ahead. Yeah, you needed to do that right now. Maybe there's an emergency you have to get to. You're late for an appointment that might mean life or death to you. Mm-hmm. If you don't make it to this appointment, you're going to be homeless. I don't know. All I know is that person was compelled to cut in line at the last second at the merge of the 101 and the 405. And that's the place where all anger exists. That's a hot spot for anger.
Yes.
It's a merge point in the city, folks, that's very frustrating.
Very frustrating.
Now, pay attention when you get into the car. Before you get to the ignition of that vehicle, go, okay, I'm going to play a game with myself. I'm not going to give myself a chore. I'm going to play a game. And notice what comes up in my body when I'm driving. And it's going to be telling you something the entire time. The time you're going to notice it the most is when you're mad. For me, it comes in my chest, and it's anxiety. Now, the stew of anxiety it's not just anxiety. It's a reaction to your feelings of wounds and pain and everything else that you're trying to hide. And it's an old shed that never got put together. That's part of your processing, your operating system in your brain. Because you're capable of dealing with everything, right? Because you're alive. You have that capability. How are you going to put it together? Well, your body knows. So what you'll notice is you'll think, oh, fuck. So I notice something was going on in my chest. And then I go, okay, what's that? Oh, it's some anxiety about what just happened. So, it's mine. I own it. Then that allows me to go deeper into that idea of what's just happening. Because the first thing I have with a reaction is someone cutting me off, right? The thing the tool I employ to have my survival instinct is anger. Was that helping? No. Is it going to solve a problem? No. Does it protect my feelings? Yes. Is it necessary? No. Can I then get one answer like, hey, did anger work? No. Does it ever work? No. Okay. Is anger available to you now? I'm going to work on it. That's not what I asked you to do. Is anger a work for you? No, I got to work on that. No, you're not going to work on it because you don't know how. How about we just decide anger is not available of the tools that you're ever able to use? You are no longer allowed to pick up that sword of anger. I want you to throw it away, right? You don't need it.
No.
It never helps you, and it surely doesn't help your children, right? Because that's what happens to our children. Are you mad, Dad? Nope. Oh my God, I've got two things. I don't know why my dad's mad, and he denied it. So that makes me sure I made my dad mad. I'm a bad person. And it'll live with him forever. Because I didn't deal with my feelings. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, this blends into what I'm talking about, our operating system. When you're born, you don't have one. You have one, but it is not assembled. And this is my theory. What happens is your operating system is given to you by your two parents, right?
Yeah.
And they think they have a fully functioning operating system, and I assure you, 99% of the people don't.
No.
Okay?
Nope.
The operating system that my parents chose to employ was called the Catholic Church. I didn't say Catholicism. Nobody asked you, Siri. Now, I will be angry about this. No one asked you, Siri. Okay. And that's it. They don't ever tune it up. And the most important thing is they don't question it.
No, yeah.
So I realized very early on, this operating system, it doesn't work for me. Now, I didn't have a mentor around at the time. I'm in a very small town, 2,000 people, and they all have 3 operating systems in that town. Well, now 4. Catholic Church, Baptist Church, Methodist Church, and in the last 30 years, Latter-day Saints. And that's what's available to you. Then, of course, the thing that's less important are their schools. Now, are they schools that are institutions that are the most respected institutions in the town? No. There's 2 institutions there. Public school, not good, of course. Oh, they're public. And the Catholic school. What are they? Self-righteous.
Yeah.
So there's judgments, all that stuff. So my further exploration of the operating system. You got to decide what yours is, right? How do you get one? Well, all the answers are in your body. You just got to slowly plug it in. Ethics, I believe, are the most important tool in philosophy, because that's a comparative study. Ethics. Is it taught in school? No.
No, college, yeah, if that as an
Right,
elective.
and it should be in grade 1.
Yeah.
The very idea of the word ethics should be grade 1, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't, if all you know how to gain from ethics is by the 2nd grade, I know how to spell it, then we've won. Then you start with a list, and ethics have nothing to do with morality. Morality must take from ethics, but they never do. Morality is an opinion, right? Mm-hmm. Ethics would be, it's wrong to take a life, right?
Yes.
That now also mirrors what they say is part of morality. But ethics really tells it, and if we explore it more, morality has this shifting idea of what morality is. But if I take the bottom line is it's unethical to take a life, period. Morality will say, unless Huh?
Yeah.
Unless, what? There's no unless. It is not ethical to take a life, period. What if he killed your whole family? Well, I'm sad. Now, I will argue that he doesn't have the right to kill my family. So now you explain to me how I suddenly have the right to take his life. I don't have the right.
Has he given up the right to live in free society, though, by taking that life?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. He has absolutely lost the right to freedom. He will no longer have freedom. He's given up that right. But I don't have the right to take a life. Because as the argument goes, if we decide as a race, a human race, that it's okay to take life, we've all lost. Because we don't think about that way. We're all thinking about justice. Well, justice means the scale is balanced. It doesn't mean, boy, I yell a lot. It doesn't mean justice for you. It's justice for all. Is it just that some people have disgusting wealth? No, it's not just. Justice is fairness. That's not fair. He earned it. Okay, that's not an argument. That's an opinion. Let's take what you just said. He earned it. Okay. How did he earn it? He understood how to take advantage of the system. Okay, the operating word there is advantage.
Right. Well, let's just say he worked 90 hours a week. It's still subjective to a degree because we don't know, to someone else it might be like, yeah, but he cut these corners or he wasn't, splitting bricks. It's still subjective.
Right.
To say, he earned it or she earned it.
Okay, sure. They earned it. Okay. Then we can get into a battery of at least 1,000 questions. He earned it. He deserves it. You did it. Great. Okay. Now what? Now what? Let's take Bezos because we're all thinking about him. Okay.
Yeah.
None of it's fair. He doesn't operate on fairness or justice. I don't know what he wants. My guess is his ego is driving the entire concern. Because there's no reason for him to continue doing what he's doing. Oh, I stepped down. Fuck off. I don't care. That's not news.
Well,
what's news?
Didn't he become chairman? I mean, he kind of stepped away to the side.
So now you're a passive aggressive pain in the ass in the office? Okay. You tell me what good you're going to do. Is it fair for me to demand that he do goodness? Well, I'll break it down. Do you care about fairness and justice? No? Okay, then I'm going to take every fucking dime you have. Your choice, buddy. Do something good. Because I know this. You accruing more money than any human ever has in the history of money is not helping anyone. You won't let your employees unionize. You're not giving them health care. And you're the richest man in the world. So I'm going to give you a huge middle finger. Yeah. You're not doing anything good. What would the Christ say? This great philosopher. Give it away.
Yeah.
Give it all away. But. And guess what? That yacht is polluting the ocean. So I want you to disassemble that yacht plank by plank and find something good to do with it. Anyway, I don't have opinions. So
I'll tell you what the pandemic's done for me, David. It's made me see that side so much more. And I needed that. I needed to see the other side, to have empathy for all sides. And I agree with you. I do. And with going back to the ethics, God, first grade ethics, never thought of that, but you're right. What a great tool to offer to children. Do you teach your children this? Do you offer it to your children?
No, because what I've realized is that you can clearly divine the way I speak to people is I don't speak to people, do I? I speak at people. It's something I'm aware of. I'm 58. I can't regulate it. Now, because I think what I have to say is important. Well, is it, David? Is there a way you could have spoke the last hour? Could you have said it in 5 fucking minutes, guy? Because then I might be interested. Now, here's the issue with my kids. And I don't know if you have this. They don't acknowledge what you have to say. What would you like for dinner? I don't know. Pasta? No. Salad? No. Burgers? No. What would you like? And then now I've asked them 4 questions. Now they raise their voice in anger and go, I don't know. I told you that. Now the problem is it's generational. The way I grew up, and you grew up maybe, my parents
definitely.
They never asked me once what I wanted for dinner.
Never.
So true.
That's fried chicken on the table with mashed potatoes and gravy and green beans, and you're going to eat it, or you'll make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Not me. I'm a peanut butter and mayonnaise guy. Yeah, take that, Heel Squad.
Oh my
Try
God.
it before you judge it.
I want to.
That is cholesterol on top of cholesterol.
You say take that, Heel Squad.
I didn't know why I did that until in 5th grade, my mother said that her mother always ate peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches. So I then can argue it's genetic.
Whoa.
So with the kids, in that situation, what do you do?
Well, beg? No, you just go, okay, I'm making that fucking TikTok pasta you guys like. Kelsey, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
The baked feta. Mm-hmm.
It's the easiest recipe to make.
Yeah.
And by the 4th time, they decided, I don't like it anymore. So it sits in a very large, what do you call that, Ziploc bag in the refrigerator. And I assume they're going to eat it all week. And then the next week, because I'm divorced and they're not there, I have to eat a fucking bag of pasta.
So, but what do you do when, and I get the whole talk at, I do it too. And I was an altar boy, and I had the same kind of operating system, so I get it. But, with the children, is it, I know some parents who are hands off as far as,
Yes.
In that way. And then I know others who are, coaching psychotically. I know a couple of kids who actually made it to pro sports because the fathers were so intensely. And so I don't know where, and I'm not a dad, so I don't know where the balance is, but you take the hands off approach.
I if I asked my body, I would.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I should. And that's why it also gets to the point where I think I'm just going to try to get those boxes delivered with vegan recipes. And I'll say, here's what I'm having, and so are you.
Right.
Yeah.
And guess what? At some point, they're going to try it and go, this is good.
Yeah.
Now, bad news for them, Dad's probably going to live longer now.
What is it like for the kids to lightening up a little bit? What is it like for them to see your movies and stuff? Do you guys ever watch them together as a family? I always hear that to the kids of actors or big celebrities, there's like, it's mom, dad. They don't look at it the same way. But when they see your work, how do they react to it?
They're delighted.
Yeah.
Now, it is, of course, if my ego speaks, not delighted enough because they don't run up to me and go, blah, 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 blah. That's what it doesn't matter. I notice the change in their interest, and I know they're smiling.
Interesting.
That's
and
cool.
I know, I know they're proud, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do you want in life?
And the other thing is,
Oh.
it's fun for them.
Yeah.
It's fun for them,
Yeah.
So like I said, A Week Away is on Netflix this week. It just dropped Friday. And that's my plug. And I'm not going to mention. Here's the thing I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to tell you that worldwide, not just the United States, worldwide, name a country, it's in the top 10 viewing, trending worldwide in every country, somewhere in the top 10. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 7, maybe it's 8 in Hungary. I don't know. I may have read that, but I'm not going to mention it. But anyway, so, I watched it with my 10-year-old. Kept trying to organize, like, can we all sit and watch it together as a family?
Yeah.
That's fun. Well, of course, most of them are teenagers, so there's less interest. But the fun for me was that Netflix sent 2 boxes. One was a T-shirt. Well, one was that's why they took it. One was a pair of slippers and 2 bags of popcorn. The other was a T-shirt a sweatshirt not meant for me. A sweatshirt of a size that clearly would not fit me. So their intention was to give it to a child. And then the most delightful thing they had in there, and I'm not going to cry, there is a candle tin that is built with, it's got wax, and then it's got these 4 small pieces of lightable charcoal. And then it's got a small bag of graham crackers, marshmallows, and 1 Hershey bar, and 2 sticks that you assemble to make your own s'mores. So that was the package. And so that's what we did, Eve and I.
Cute.
We watched the movie and made s'mores. Wow. That was delightful.
Oh.
And the movie's called A Week Away.
A Week Away. And, when Eve was watching it, of course they want to go, I'm not going to care. But she loved it. Dad, that's you.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So
cool.
No, I ruined it because throughout the movie, I'm the one, because I'm the camp owner, I'm the one announcing the next game that's to be played at the camp that week. That's my voice, honey. Jesus, David. What do you need?
I love it, though. And I was saying to you, like, I think older people like these films, too. I'm in.
Yeah.
Especially right now, because we just want something light.
Oh, we're so going to watch.
Yeah.
If you're watching with your kids, you're happy because they actually let you have they allowed you to have their company for an hour and a half. So you're pretty happy about that. And then, I will say this, it does have a religious theme to it. So, but it is not canonized in any particular religion other than Christianity. Yeah. But I don't think they ever say Christ. Yeah. I'm not sure.
We're gonna let you go. We'll end it there, you guys. So that concludes episode 1 of our interview with David Koechner. Wow.
Kevin's been, you guys, it's so funny. Kevin doesn't ever really mean to have 2-parters happen, but he's just like, he gets in these in-depth, incredible conversations with these people, and we're like, it's a must for you guys, for everyone, and I love them personally, so let us know how you guys are feeling about them, because I think it's so cool. I mean, we could talk to these guests, some of these guests for hours.
I think the
hours.
most significance about this one is the fact that it's Dave Koechner, and it's not, I thought we would talk, his new movie, we might share some Hollywood stories, and then, talk about, kind of him on the road less traveled. And it turned into...
And boy, was Kevin wrong.
Yes, it just turned into a philosophical and very therapeutic conversation that we will continue. And the second part is even more intense. So I say, please stay tuned. You will actually see David at work, working on our own Stephen the Mute, who works on staff here, and actually doing a therapeutic session with him. It was just incredible and a lot of takeaway. And so until then, what, Kelsey?
Until then, you guys, be nice people, make good choices, listen to this episode, take notes, share it with a friend, and be present.
Holla.